I'm running out of this. You should have gone to the band. I still can. I thought you were. I still can. You reconsider that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. You know what? We have a very special show for you today, and it's called The Princess and the Handmaiden. Has any of you ever seen The Princess and the Handmaiden? No. No? Well, you guys are going to be so excited because there's lots of prizes and lots of magic for you guys. One thing about this show that we cannot have, we cannot have you guys being quiet. We need you guys to make some noise. Can I see how much noise you can make? Can you tell me hi? Hi! That's a little bit louder than that. Look how many of you there are, including the parents. Can you get up? Perfect. You know what we're going to do? We're going to bring out 3 of our characters for you, and they're going to help us along with all the noise that we have to make. All right, can we bring out the princess, our court jester, and our handmaiden? Now, this is our court jester, and he will help you along with the noises you have to make, all right? And over here, we have the handmaiden. Now, I've got to tell you a little secret. The handmaiden is not very nice at all. She's so mean, and she doesn't even tell the truth half the time. So when we see the handmaiden being very naughty, we have to tell her boo. Can we do that? That's perfect. And over here, we have our princess. Now, our princess is so kind, she's so caring, and she even tries to be nice to the handmaiden, even when she's being so terrible. So when she does something wonderful, we have to tell her hooray, all right? Can we do that? See what I mean? Oh. And another thing that we have to do is we have to be sheep. Now, does anybody know how to make sheep sounds? Hey, you've been practicing. You guys are very good at this. And what we have here is 4 pairs of ears that we can give to 4 of you guys, and you guys can be sheep. But we still need everybody to make the sheep noise. All right? So would anybody like to be sheep? I saw this hand go first. This way. There we go. And you guys be our sheep. And right now, we'll ask our handmaiden, please, our princess and our court jester. Now, we are going to start on our magical journey of the princess and the handmaiden. I hope everybody enjoys the show.
Let's see what we may find together. Welcome to my world, where there's music and laughter. Come with me and let me see you smile. Welcome to my world. Never out.
Once there was a wise old magical queen who learned of the distant king's illness, to which she had the cure, a magic potion that would save the king's life. Stories had long been told of the wonders she could work with her charms and spells, but the queen was old now, too old to make so long a journey. So after a great deal of thought, she decided to send her only daughter instead. It was a hard decision, for the queen loved her beautiful daughter very much, and the young princess had never been so far away from home before. Nevertheless, she was pleased when she heard the news.
You're sending me on a journey?
I have knowledge of a distant king who lies gravely ill. He will die unless this potion is taken to him at once. I have thought long upon the matter, and as I cannot make the journey myself, I am sending you in my place.
Oh, at last, a chance to see what lies beyond these castle walls.
Listen to me, child. I would not send you if I could make the journey myself. The journey will be long, and it will take you through a dark and dangerous forest.
So the queen gave the princess a lock of her own white hair to wear around her neck.
This lock has magical powers that will keep anyone who wears it safe from harm. Promise me you will wear it always, and you will not take it off for any reason.
Yes, I promise.
Good. You will be in no danger. Also, you'll ride your white horse Falada, who will allow no one to the princess upon his back.
I will get ready.
And while the preparations were being completed, the princess went to say goodbye to her handmaiden. The two had been best friends since childhood, but lately they were beginning to drift apart. There was nothing the princess could do about it, for her days were taken up with her schooling and court affairs and royal duties. But the handmaiden was becoming more jealous and bitter as time went by.
She was once my dearest friend. I called her sister as we grew. Tell me where the road did bend and what has come between us two.
Why, the best of friends we were, but she is blind and cannot see that while the kingdom bows to her, it's always overlooking me. Sisters, we can never be. She's the only friend she's known, just a simple lowly maid, and I'm a princess to a throne.
But that was not a choice I made. Still we watch the friendship fade. I'm sorry I haven't seen you for so many days, but something has come up and I thought I should tell you. Good, how have you been? You don't look well.
No, not as well as you, my lady. This color becomes you, and the new jewelry as well. You look lovelier each day.
You seem so unhappy. What is it that's wrong? We used to be so close. What has come between us?
Surely the princess has more important things to worry about than a common handmaiden.
Oh, wait! I only came to say goodbye. I'm leaving on a long journey tomorrow morning, and I don't know when I'll be home again.
A journey?
Yes! To a distant kingdom to save a king's life with one of my mother's magic cures.
A rich and powerful king with a handsome son of marrying age?
Yes! Oh, handsome prince! Well, I believe so.
What a wonderful opportunity!
Yes, I'm really looking. Opportunity? For what?
Why for us to rebuild our friendship. You've been so
No!
Mind your own business, you! This is wonderful. I'm so glad you feel this way. I'll make all the arrangements. Yes, do that.
But the new plans reached the queen. And she was not pleased. She summoned her daughter to her chamber. And when the princess saw how worried she looked, she was afraid that her mother would not let her go at all. Before the queen could say anything, the princess hurriedly tried to explain how important this trip was to her.
This is my chance to see the world, and there's a world full of things to see. Open the door and see the world that has been waiting outside for me. But what good's an open doorway if you never had a go? This is my chance to try. This is my chance to fly. This is my chance to see the world, and I won't let it pass me by.
But the queen was still not satisfied, and she turned to her daughter, and she began to speak.
This is your chance to see the world, because the world it means you know. Once you have left your home behind, you be where sadness and sorrow. People will try and use you. Your friends betray your trust. They're waiting for you up there, darling. You must take care. This is your chance to see the world, but darling, you must beware. What does it take to make a princess? Only a crown, but all can see. You better be very wary, princess. Slip and the princess marry me. This is your chance to see, my chance to fly. I'm spreading my wings today. So spread them across the sky. Fly away, happily ever after. I deserve more than you. This is my chance to fly. This is my chance to. This is my chance to see the world. Promise you will beware. A princess must beware.
So the princess was determined to begin her journey, even if it meant traveling through a dark and dangerous forest.
Come here, you all. You, we're going on a journey.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The princess and the handmaiden had been traveling for many days when they came to a swiftly flowing river that cut through the heart of the forest.
Oh, look! A swiftly flowing river that cuts through the heart of the forest. We can rest here and fill our water bags as well. What luck!
The princess agreed, so they both dismounted their horses.
Of course! I will go down to the river and fill the water bags. And so I should. You being the princess, and me being only your servant. No. It is my duty to do your bidding. Hi-ho!
Oh, no, wait. Let me go down to the river and fill them for you. Such a small thing for me to do when you're soil. Here, lie down and rest while you can.
How can I ever thank you?
But while the princess was bending down to the river, she had her back to the handmaiden, who reached her hand quietly to pull out a saddlebag. There she found the potion meant to save the king.
Aha!
Raising it high above her head, she called to the princess.
Now, my fine lady, do just as
surprised and naturally thought that the handmaiden was joking. But when she turned and saw the hatred in the handmaiden's eyes, she became frightened.
Now, give me your clothes, and I'll exchange garments with you.
Surely you can't be serious.
Do as I say, or the king dies.
Fighting back her tears, the princess did as she was told.
Hold this one. Now you have all the old rags, and I get the princess dress, and don't forget the crown.
I can't believe it. Hey, you mean
Oh, wait, quiet. There. How do we feel now, Missy?
we used to be such good friends?
Well, times have changed.
And very soon the handmaiden was dressed in the princess's traveling clothes. The princess still couldn't believe that someone in whom she had placed so much love and trust would truly wish her harm. But her last hope died as she watched the handmaiden tie the ladder to her own horse's saddle. The princess, weeping quietly now, realized what the handmaiden was planning to do.
Surely you can't just leave me here like this.
You're right. I can't just leave you here like this. Not with that locket of hair to protect you. Give it to me.
But without the protection of the locket, being abandoned in the forest will surely be my death.
Oh, really? Get it!
And with a swish of royal robes, the handmaiden turned to mount the princess's horse. The horse that would only allow the princess on his back.
Really? Just get on with this story, thank you.
With another swish of royal robes, the handmaiden turned to mount her own horse.
The princess now!
She galloped away triumphantly, lugging the glass behind her. The betrayed princess was left frightened and alone as night fell upon the forest. Meanwhile, in a palace on the other side of the forest, the king lay close to death while his worried courtiers discussed the sad situation.
All is not well at the court, all is confusion and sorrow. Have you heard the most recent report? The king may not live out the day. The king is beginning to grieve, the funeral may be tomorrow. We're finding it hard to believe, but that's what the doctors all say. And we're looking for someone to save the king, praying for someone to make him well. We know if we act is a difficult task, but there must be a potion of heal as well that's able to save the king. All is not well with the prince, he's hiding and hazing the palace. He's going to be hard to convince that he's ready to sit on the throne.
Looking a little bit scared, we need this without any malice. But he knows that he isn't prepared to rule anything alone. So we're looking for someone to save the king, praying for someone to find a cure. We're all out of luck and the king keeps a bucket of that. We're absolutely sure. Somebody save the king.
When the king is gone, will I lose my position? Some other country declare a war. When the king is left alone, he won't need his physician or tailor or lover or groom anymore. There's a girl at the door. We only need a musician. He's a family, no feast in store. What's to become of our greed and ambition? What was our dreaming and scheming for?
Is anybody here going to answer the door? All is not well at the court, all is not well in the palace. The time he has left is so short, we're crumbling under the strain. Our futures are all looking grim, forgive us for being so callous. But if anything happens to him, the kingdom has nothing to gain. So we're all extending his reign. And we're looking for someone to save the king, who will step forward without delay. Who can we trust to be king like the death? Will we ever adjust? Will we know that we must? And we're looking for someone to save the king. Somebody save the king.
The handmaiden, disguised as the princess, arrived at the king's castle.
Now, you both stay here, you stinking mule! Now, I am here to cure the king.
at once to the Nine King's chamber where she saved his life with a magic potion.
My beloved people, I present to you the daughter of the legendary magical queen. She has journeyed here from the far side of the great forest in order to save my life. This she has done, and we and the entire kingdom rejoice. In turn, I offer to her, with infinite gratitude, anything in the kingdom that she desires.
Oh, my lord! It is reward enough to see you well, and able again to rule your loyal subjects. I, of course, ask for no less than this.
The king was moved by the handmaiden's flattery.
You are a most gentle and gracious girl. And to you, I offer that which I treasure most. I ask you to make my palace your home, and to accept my son's hand in marriage.
Oh, sire, I am overwhelmed by your generosity, and I accept the offer gladly.
Oh, this is indeed a happy day. Come then, servants, prepare for our celebration. Please.
My lord, I beg your pardon. May I ask for one more little thing?
Of course, speak freely.
It concerns the white horse Falada, on which I made the journey. He still stands saddled in the court.
The noble girl, to put your horse's welfare before your own. Don't worry, child. He'll be well looked after. I'll see that he's unsaddled, groomed, and stabled.
Slaughtered! Water! And water! And plenty. The journey has been so long, and he has served me so well. Could he be turned out to pasture? I will have no need of a horse now that this palace is my home.
If you feel sure that's what you would like.
Quite sure. But he must be turned out to the most distant pasture, where no one will find him or try to ride him, for he allows only the princess on his back.
The princess?
Me! Yes, me! I'm the princess. He allows only me on his back, and I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt while trying to ride my faithful Falada.
So by the king's orders, the faithful Falada was put out into a distant and secluded field and forgotten. But the real princess was made of sterner stuff than the villainous handmaiden had imagined. Even though she was left without hope and in despair over the handmaiden's treachery, the princess did not die in the forest as the handmaiden had assumed she would. After many days of walking, weak with hunger and nearing total exhaustion, the princess finally stumbled out of the damp gloom and into fresh air and sunlight. She was out of the forest and had reached the outskirts of a tiny village not far from the king's castle. With her last remaining strength, she dragged herself to the nearest cottage and collapsed on the doorstep. And that was where Conrad found her when he returned home that night. He looked down at the poor girl in torn rags and shawl, and he could see that she was barely alive. He lifted her carefully and helped her into his tiny cottage. And there he gently laid her on the bed and watched her quietly as he waited for her to awaken. Conrad was a crippled shepherd boy who lived by himself on the edge of the village and tended his flock alone. So for days, no one noticed as he watched over the princess tirelessly, as she slowly began to regain her health under his care.
Here, drink this.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're feeling stronger now. You were so ill when I found you. I was worried.
I'm feeling much better now, thanks to you. I don't know what I would have done without your help.
Where are you from? I haven't seen you around here before, and I would remember you.
I've come from the other side of the forest.
But that's so far. Why would you want to journey so far from home? And alone?
I didn't know I would be traveling alone. Besides, don't you want to travel someday? See the world?
I can't get around very well because of my leg.
Oh, but when your leg is better?
Like my father before me, I was born in this house. I was born in this very room. And I drive the sheep to those hills where I watch them graze. That's how I spend my days, like my father before me. Over here are my snares, I catch rabbits and grouse. In the corner I stand my broom. And I drive the sheep to those hills in the morning light. Then I bring them home at night, like my father before me, and his father before him, and his father before him.
I was born in a kingdom of magic and light, in a palace behind the wall. Silver and servants, a garden of emerald green. And someday I will be free, like my mother before me and her mother before her.
And my father before me, and his father before him.
And oh, there are places I haven't been.
Oh, there are places
I haven't seen beyond those hills are wonders.
I know this is where I'll grow old.
There's a road over there and it leads
away from the fire's cold.
And I feel that it's pulling me
Like my father
every
before me.
Every morning and night I can hear
The horizon is calling someone else, not
It's telling me I can be more than a princess.
And with the wife beside
I
me,
want more
I'll live the life of my father before me, and his father before me, and my father before me,
and his mother before her.
and his father before him.
The princess couldn't remain unnoticed forever, and eventually her story drifted down to the village and began to spread. The villagers, though friendly enough, didn't know what to make of this young girl. No one was sure how much, if any, of her story was true, and everyone had trouble believing she was really a princess. Well, the town, like any small town anywhere, began to talk.
You know, I know the whole story. You just listen to me. The whole No, I don't like that. You know, she says she's a princess from a far-off kingdom. Who? That girl who's been staying with Conrad for a couple of weeks.
What far-off kingdom?
On the other side of the forest.
No one lives on the other side of the forest.
How would you know? You've never been past the town wall.
Isn't that where the magic queen lives? On the
side of the forest?
That's just a fairy tale.
Maybe not. I heard she had been wandering through the forest alone for days.
Impossible. The forest is too big.
And I'm very, very dangerous.
She'd never have survived.
But she's here now, isn't she? Aye, that's for certain. And she wasn't here before. Does make a body wonder. Oh, that it does.
Well, I don't care who she is. She shouldn't be living with a shepherd. Highly improper.
But she doesn't know anybody else around here. I heard she was half dead when Conrad found her. Hey!
All I'm saying is that it throws a shadow of doubt over her story now, doesn't it?
That does. Huh? Chura.
A princess, indeed.
We like to say we like her, though she acts a little strange. But there are things about princesses that none of us can change. A style that every princess has, this girl just hasn't got. So as far as being princess, we're sorry, but she's not.
A princess needs a crown and gown in order to stand tall. But this girl came to town in just an ordinary shawl.
We heard that in the woods she had to give her clothes away.
A princess dressed like that would still be hiding in the
And she lost the part she would have died, that's what she said.
But if she were a princess, she would rather have been dead.
She never asked for anything, a princess would demand. She always speaks politely while a princess would command.
She always has a smile and never seems to make a fuss.
But if she were a princess, she'd be turning up her nose at us. How long was she lost, perhaps it cost the girl her mind.
Any princess would have left the lonely shepherd far behind.
I'm the girl quite charming. We admit that much is true. But still those things a princess does, this girl just does not do. She seems to be an honest child, on that we all agree. But as far as being princess, she simply cannot be. Let's go. You always bring my son. Oh, get you for this.
And the princess who had saved the king's life. But when the real princess heard the news, she felt it was time to go to the king's castle to tell him her story. She was well enough now to make the walk, but Conrad was afraid for her safety.
I don't think you should go. It's too dangerous.
Something I have to do, Conrad.
But you shouldn't go alone. It's such a long walk, and you've been so ill.
I'm quite well now. The castle is not that far. I'll be fine.
Well, at least let me go with you.
Oh, Conrad. The castle's at the top of a hill. I can't let you make the climb. Your leg's not strong enough.
My leg is
No,
fine.
it's not. It waters you more every day. I'm not lying, Conrad. I need to rest it.
But what if something goes wrong at the castle, or you need my help?
It's a simple thing. I'll go to the king. I'll tell him the truth. And all will be well. You'll see. Mommy! Now say goodbye. And stop worrying.
But what the princess didn't know is that the villagers' gossip had reached the castle. And as she was walking toward the palace, the horrified handmaiden, realizing from the rumors that the princess was still alive, was busy trying to convince everyone that this poor girl was dangerously insane.
This is treason! It's impersonating royalty! Questioning the king's judgment! His decision! Oh, you'll laugh at her now, and indeed this mad girl could be considered a joke, or something to be pitied, if she weren't such a danger to the government of this kingdom! Oh!
arrival, the princess was taken to see the king, and she began to tell her story. But as she spoke, she could see that no one believed a word she was saying. She was becoming frightened, and wanting to know why no one believed her, she asked to see the handmaiden for herself. Well, the king saw no harm in this and sent for the handmaiden to come at once. The moment the handmaiden entered the room, the princess understood why no one believed her. For the handmaiden still wore around her neck the lock of hair charmed by the magic queen. The princess realized that no harm could come to anyone who wore this, and with a cry of despair, she fled from the palace.
Stop her! Treason! Don't let her get away!
But the king cried and ordered his courtiers back into the palace.
Out of your mind! Follow her!
But the girl kept running and was soon out of
Where
sight.
are we going? Come back here! Why don't you follow her? She's a traitor! She's an imposter! I want her here!
But the princess had managed to escape. She was terrified, and she was sure that the king's men were right behind her. Not knowing where else to go, she ran back to the cottage, back to the village.
Conrad! Where are you? Conrad!
You're back. What's wrong? What happened at the castle?
You're right. No one believed me. She's wearing the lock of hair. There's nothing I can do.
What lock of hair? I don't know.
Conrad, they think I'm a traitor.
Here, sit down, catch your breath. Then you can tell me what's the...
No! Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come back here.
No, you were right to come to me.
The king's men are right behind me. I should have run into the hills to hide.
But it's almost dark.
I can try and make it through the forest and home again.
No, you'd never make it through the forest. You almost died the last time.
Don't you know you're in danger? You'll be tortured or killed if they find me. Not a person believed me, not a one.
That's not true. I believed you.
No, let me go. You're in danger. Any moment the king or his men could reappear. I don't know anymore what I should do. Where I should run.
You could stay here with me. There's nothing to fear with me by your side. Here there's love and laughter too. I can look after you while you hide. I don't care what the world says. I don't care what the king says. It's right or real. All I know is the way I feel when I see you cry. Running away is wrong. Here is where you belong. Is it that clear? Why run away? Why flee? Couldn't you stay with me? Right here.
The princess stayed with Conrad. The king's men did not come after her, and in a few days she began to feel safe again. The morning of the royal wedding arrived, and the whole kingdom was buzzing with excitement.
It's so exciting! Oh no! Oh, not again!
I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's just a wedding.
Well, almost the whole kingdom.
It's not just a wedding. It's a royal wedding. Every prince and princess, duke and duchess, lord and lady from miles around will be coming to our capital.
Oh no!
Oh no!
be the maid of honor. But I declined the invite.
Nothing to wear, I suppose.
Well, I do suppose we should go down to the castle gate on the deck to have a wee gander at the festivities.
Seems only fair. After all, it's our taxes pays for all that royal revelry.
Hi, speaking of President Royalty, look who's coming.
Why, it's Conrad's little lodger.
Good morning, my dear.
Where are you off to this morning, huh?
I'm going into the hills to watch over Conrad's flock for him.
Why, it's a lovely day for it.
Where's Conrad then?
Oh, he's in the cottage. He's not well today.
His leg again?
Oh, poor dear. He's ill more days than not now. Oh.
Aye, that's getting worse.
I'm very worried about him. Has he seen a doctor?
A what? A doctor? There's no doctor in this village.
Oh, perhaps in the next town.
Oh, the only doctor in the whole kingdom is the king's own physician.
And he never sets foot outside the palace.
Oh, no, a simple shepherd would never number among his patients.
Well, there must be something we can do.
You're doing all you can, love. Each day you lighten his load a little now.
He's much better off with your company, that's for sure.
There's a doctor in the town.
And he cures princes, not peasants.
That's just the way things are, dear. Look, the morning's there, God. You better tend to your flock. Oh, that's so cute. I love you.
Come on, big dog, no panic now, dear.
The princess was confused as she headed into the hills with her sheep.
The only doctor in the kingdom is the king's own physician. But he never sets foot outside the palace.
She wandered far away from the village and far away from the castle,
Cures princes, not peasants.
into distant and secluded fields,
Not fair.
until she was miles away from everything and everyone.
Not so very long ago, so tired of being me. I wanted to be all the things a princess couldn't be. I remember wanting to spend the whole day through doing all the things a princess shouldn't do. Like walking barefoot in the rain, or building castles in the sand, or finding time to be alone without every minute planned. Feeling fine and feeling free, finding room to just be me. So I've had my taste of freedom, walked barefoot in the rain, spent days alone on hilltops, and all I've seemed to gain is time for being lonely and a wish to be a princess
The day passed slowly. The sheep wandered further into the hills, and eventually they came to a large enclosed pasture. It seemed to be empty. Still, she realized the pasture probably belonged to the king. So she was about to turn her sheep around when she suddenly saw, grazing quietly in the farthest corner, a single white horse.
Palada?
The princess started walking toward the horse. The closer she got, the faster she walked until she was running through the pasture.
Palada?
At the sound of his name, the horse threw up his head and galloped to meet his beloved mistress. He pressed ecstatically around her neck and laughed as she made the handkerchief At the same moment, back at the king's castle, the handmaiden was busy admiring herself in the mirror while trying to make the final decisions on the royal wedding.
Now, must be white. It's the only color that's fitting for a princess. It's so innocent and pure. Besides, it goes with my beautiful hair and curly complexion. Oh, and with that silly lock of white hair I have to wear on my neck all the time. Oh.
But the more she tried to make a decision, the more annoyed she became.
Now, it'll be florally, with the long train, held by two charming children. What am I saying? I hate children! Held by my wedding maid. And it will have enormous sleeves, with lace, and a delicately low-cut collar. Oh! And everybody will see that stupid lock of white hair around my neck. No! It will have a high collar. But then they will all stare at that huge bone made from the dumb locket from the imbecile queen. Oh!
By this time, the handmaiden had worked herself up into a frenzy.
I can choose between all the gold and jewels of the kingdom, but I have to be wed to a handsome prince or an ugly clump of old hair.
And in a fit of rage, the handmaiden threw the protective locket out the window and into the castle moat. It didn't take the princess long to ride behind the ladder. Conrad was in his cottage resting his leg when he heard the unfamiliar sound of a horse nickering in the front yard.
You're home. This horse.
Come inside. You don't look well.
I'm sorry about this horse.
Your leg is much worse, isn't it?
Please.
You remember the white horse in the lana I told you about? You allow only me to ride on his back?
Yes, but that was the...
I thought the handmaiden would have had him killed, but I found him in a distant field.
You're leaving.
Yes, soon.
You're going back home to your kingdom?
No, I don't know. I thought I wanted to see the world once. Perhaps now I will.
Weren't you going to say goodbye?
I would never leave without saying goodbye. I owe you my life. But it's not time for farewells yet. There's something I must do before I go.
The princess turned to Mount Falada, and the horse trotted off in the direction of the king's castle.
Where are you going? What are you going to do?
Don't worry, I'll be back soon to say goodbye.
No, don't go back to the king's castle, please.
But the princess and the white horse were gone. The time appointed for the royal wedding arrived, but all was not proceeding as planned. For at the moment the ceremony was supposed to begin, the prince was missing.
All is not well in the court, all is not well in the palace. Tempers and rodents are short in the groom, he cannot be found. He decided to go for a walk, I didn't see where he was heading. We're nervously watching the clump and the groom is nowhere around. Wow, that will make the prince want to miss his own wedding. Oh, and we're hoping that someone will find the prince. Praying the wedding may carry on. His Majesty's screaming, the princess is screaming, and nobody knows where the prince has gone. Somebody find the prince!
The king had joined the handmaiden, who was anxiously pacing back and forth outside the chapel. They were both watching and waiting for the prince to appear, when suddenly a hush fell over the throng of people who filled the hall. When the crowd parted, there appeared before them a girl on a white horse.
What do you say we wait in the chapel?
I recognize this girl as the one who came to the castle not long ago. Claiming to be the true princess.
Wow! Gee, I guess you're right. God, arrest her!
No! Wait. Isn't that your own white horse?
No, don't be silly. All white horses look the same. I mean, really. If you've seen one magnificent white stallion, you've seen them all.
Your Majesty, I have not come this time to convince you that I am the true princess.
You haven't?
No. I came to ask you for that given you by the Magic Queen. You almost died once, and that child life. You are well now. I have need of it no longer. But in the village below, there's a poor shepherd who is very ill and grows worse each day. Please, I beg you to give me the potion that will make him well, so he may continue to watch over and slug in the hill.
Well, isn't that the most preposterous request you have ever...
Tell me something first, my girl. This horse. Did you find him in a distant and secluded pasture that belongs to us, the king?
Yes, sire.
And did you know that this horse belongs to the princess? And that it is foolish and dangerous to ride another person's horse without permission?
Yes, sire. I know all these things.
Well, tell me then, how is it that you can ride this horse, a horse that only allows the princess on his back?
Because, sire, I am the princess, and this is my horse.
This is brazen! This is absolute rubbish! That's just a horse! He's not your horse! I mean, he's not my horse! And anyone could have put a royal crown on his rump! That's just a trick! It proves nothing! Anyone can ride that silly mule, say, look! Nothing to it!
Was now plain for all to see, and the king took the princess by the hand and exclaimed in a loud and sure voice,
You are indeed the true princess. We and the entire kingdom rejoice, and offer to you anything in the kingdom that you desire.
Your Highness, the potion.
Of course. That for which you came. The potion. Given us by the magic ring. Is yours.
Thank you, sire.
Guards, arrest this impostor and throw her in the dungeon!
Please, Your Majesty, let her go.
the king was surprised at the princess's request.
Let her take a message safely back to my kingdom. Let her tell my mother, the queen, that I am happy and well and will not be returning for some time.
The king questioned the princess's decision and asked her,
Why would you wish to pardon such a villain?
She was once my dearest friend. I called her sister as we grew. Then one day the road did bend, and something came between us two. No, I have forgiven you.
the handmaiden, amazed that she was allowed to escape with her life, turned and fled from the palace.
Well, good riddance to that rubbish! Anyway!
The king turned to the princess and offered her that which he treasured most. He asked her to make his palace her home and to accept his son's hand in marriage.
Sire, your offer is most generous, and I thank you. But I'm leaving today on a long journey, and I don't know when I'll be back.
You could stay with me. There's nothing to fear with me by your side. You can't run away forever.
Come with me.
I can. My sheep.
Dear comrade, here is the potion that will make you well. Now it's time to say goodbye.
Don't go.
It's something I have to do. But don't look so sad. Who says I won't be back?
Every story has to end, but if you ever need a friend, I write.
This is my chance to see the world, and there's a world full of things to see.
Welcome to my world, it is honor dependent. Love is true, always right. Welcome to my world, but the story has ended. Time
Where? Prince Edward Island. Except for these people. Everybody on this side can go over this way. Except for you guys.
Yeah, everyone's
Except for this
performing
one.
the show this afternoon.
Presentation of The Princess and the Handmaid. My name is Christine and I'm going to share with you some very special things about our show today. This isn't a normal show because during this show, you don't have to sit there and be quiet the whole time. We need you guys to help us out and be noisy. Can you show me how noisy everyone can be by saying hello? Hello! You guys are great. Okay, I'm going to bring out some of the characters in the show that are going to help us out, okay? Can I please have the court jester, the princess, and the handmaid? Over here we have the court jester. Now he's a real fun and friendly guy. I want you guys to keep an eye on him because he's going to help us out and let us know what sounds to make and when to make them. And over here we have the handmaiden. Oh, she's not very nice at all. She's really mean. She never tells the truth and she's always doing bad things to other people. So when you see her doing those things, I want you to boo her and say, boo!
Ah, boo to you too!
Oh, that isn't very nice. Oh, no, it's not nice at all. And over here we have our princess. She's so sweet and always so caring. She's always doing good things. And so when you see her being good, I want you to cheer her on and say, hooray! Hooray! Another really special thing we have in the show today is we have a flock of sheep. We need everyone to help us out by making sheep sounds. Does everyone know how to do that? Hey, that's great. I've got 3 pairs of sheep ears and 3 people out here in the front want to wear them. We have 1. I saw these 3 hands first. There you go. But just because we have 3 pairs of sheep ears, that doesn't mean everybody can't help us out by making the sounds, okay? So when you see the flock of sheep come to the corner of the stage, I want everyone, kids and adults, to make the sheep sound. Okay. So thank you very much to the court jester, the princess, and even the very nasty handmaiden. And we'll start our very special journey. I hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to my world, it's love ever after.
magical queen that learned of a distant king's illness, for which she had a cure. A magical potion that would save the king's life. Stories had long been told of the wonders she could work with her charms and spells, but the queen was old now, much too old to make such a long journey.
Oh, I hate wiping the floor! You always make me wipe the floor!
So after much thought, the queen decided to send their only daughter instead. This was a very hard decision for the queen to make, for she loved her young daughter very much, and the young princess had never been so far away from home before. Nevertheless, the princess was pleased when she heard the news.
You're sending me on a journey? I have knowledge of a distant king who lies greatly. He will die unless this potion is taken to him at once. I have thought long upon the matter, and as I cannot make the journey myself, I am sending you in my place.
Oh, at last! A chance to see what lies beyond these castle walls.
Listen to me, child. I would not send you if I could go myself. The journey will be long. It will take you through a dark and dangerous forest.
So the queen gave her daughter a lock of her own white hair to wear around her neck.
This lock has magical power that will keep anyone who wears it safe from harm. Promise me that you will wear it always, and that you will not take it off for any reason.
Oh, yes, I promise.
Good. Then you will be in no danger. Also, you will ride your white horse, Falada, who will allow no one but the princess upon your back.
Oh, yes, of course, Mother.
We get to ride Falada, Hakatina, I want to me. Oh, yes.
I will get ready.
While the preparations were being made, the princess went to say goodbye to her handmaiden. They had been best friends since childhood, but lately they were drifting apart, and there was nothing that the princess could do about this, for her days were taken up with her schooling, court affairs, and royal duties. But still, the handmaiden was becoming more jealous and bitter as time went by.
She was once my dearest friend. I called her sister as we grew. Tell me where the road did bend, and what has come between us two. Quite the best of friends we were, but she is blind and cannot see that while the kingdom bows to her, it's always overlooking me. Sisters, we can never be. The only friend she's known is just a simple lonely maid, and she's a princess to a throne. But I hate her. The choice I made, still we'll now we're
Oh, I'm sorry I haven't seen you for so many days, but something's come up and I thought I should tell you. Oh, but how have you been? You don't look so well.
No, not as well as you, my lady. My, how those colors become you. Oh, and your new jewelry as well. You're looking lovelier each day.
Oh, you seem so unhappy. What is it that's the matter? Oh, we used to be so close. What has come between us?
Surely the princess has more important things to worry about than a common handmaiden.
Oh, wait! I only came to say goodbye. I'm leaving tomorrow morning on a long journey, and I don't know when I'll be back again.
A journey?
Yes, to a distant kingdom, to save the king's life with one of my mother's magic cures.
A rich and powerful king with a handsome son of marrying age?
Why, yes, I believe so.
Why, what a wonderful opportunity.
Oh, yes, I'm so looking forward
selfish and unfair. Please, let me go with you and make it up to you.
But we leave in the morning.
Oh, perfect! I'll be ready.
All right. I'll have an extra horse prepared for the traveling party.
No! We must go alone. Alone, to get to know each other again, to talk. I have so much I want to tell you, and we'll be so close, just like when we were children.
No.
Mind your own business!
Oh, this is wonderful. I'm so glad to feel this way. I'll go make all the arrangements.
Yes. Do that.
The news reached the queen, and she was not pleased. She summoned her daughter to her chamber, and when the princess saw how worried she looked, she was afraid that her mother wouldn't let her go on the trip at all. So before the queen could speak, the princess hurriedly tried to explain how important this trip was to her.
This is my chance to see the world. There's a world full of things to see. Open the door and see the world has been waiting outside for me. But what good is an open doorway if you've never had the through? This is my chance to try. This is my chance to fly. This is my chance to see the world, and I won't let it pass me by.
But the queen was still not satisfied. She turned to her daughter and began to speak.
This is your chance to see the world, but there's a world of things you don't know. Once you have left your home behind, you'll be where in the end you belong. People will try and use you, will let friends betray your trust. They're waiting for you out there, and you must take care. This is your chance to see the world, but darling, you must beware.
What does it take to make a princess? Only a crown that all can see. You'd better be very wary, princess. Slip and the princess may be me. This is my chance to see the world. Princess must beware.
But the princess was determined to make the journey, even if it meant going through a dark and dangerous forest.
Oh, you old mule! Get over here! Bye! The other way!
The princess and the handmaiden had been traveling for many days when they arrived at a swiftly flowing river that cut through the heart of the forest.
Oh, look! A swiftly flowing river that cuts through the heart of the forest. We can stop here and rest and fill our water bags. What luck!
The princess agreed, so they both dismounted their horses.
out of here, you old mule! Of course, I'll go down to the river and fill the water bags, and so I should. You being the princess and me being only your servant. No, no, no! It is my duty to do your bidding.
Oh, wait! Let me fill them for you. Oh, it's such a small thing for me to do when you're feeling so ill. Oh, lie down and rest while you can.
How can I ever thank you?
But while the princess was bending down towards the river, her back was to the handmaiden, who quietly reached into Falada's saddlebag, and there she found the potion meant to save the king.
Aha!
And raising it high above her head, she called to the princess.
Now, my fine lady, do just as I say. I'll throw this potion into the river, and the king will surely die.
The princess was surprised, and naturally thought the handmaiden was joking. But when she turned and saw the hatred in the handmaiden's eyes, she became frightened.
Now, give me your clothes, and I will exchange garments with you.
Oh, surely you can't be serious.
Do as I say, or the king dies. Here, hold it.
Fighting back her tears, the princess did
Here,
as she
my
was told.
sticky old bonnet, sticky bonnet. Stupid bonnet. I can't leave you doing this to me. Stupid bonnet, give me the dress. Now.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Just be quiet, Dunia.
Oh, we used to be such good friends.
Times have changed. Dunia, hurry up.
I'm trying.
The cape, the crown. Hurry up. Looks better on me.
No, it doesn't.
Who asked you?
And soon the handmaiden was dressed in the princess's traveling clothing. The princess still couldn't believe that someone in whom she had placed so much love and trust would truly wish her harm.
Give it.
But her last hope died.
Give
As
it
she
back.
watched the handmaiden tie Falada to her own horse's saddle, the princess, weeping quietly now, realized what the handmaiden was planning to do.
Surely you can't just leave me here like this.
That's right. I can't just leave you here like this. No, that lock of hair to protect you. Now give it to me.
But without the protection of the locket, being abandoned in the forest will surely mean my death.
Oh, really? Give it to me.
Switch of royal robes, the handmaiden turned to mount the princess's horse. The horse that would only allow the princess on his back.
Will you just get on with it?
And with another swish of royal robes, she turned to mount her own horse.
I am the princess now.
Leading the reluctant Falada behind her, the betrayed princess was left frightened and alone as night fell on the forest.
In the forest?
Meanwhile, in a palace on the other side of the forest, the king lay close to death while his worried courtiers discussed the sad situation.
All is not well at the court, all is confusion and sorrow. Have you heard the most recent report? The king may not live on the day. The king is beginning to breathe, the funeral may be tomorrow. We're finding it hard to believe, but that's what the doctors all say. And we're looking for someone to save the king, praying for someone to make him well. You know what we ask is a difficult task, and there must be a potion, a pill, a spell that's able to save the king. All is not well with the prince, he's hiding and pacing the palace. He's going to be hard to convince that he's ready to sit on a throne.
He's looking a little bit scared, reading us without any malice. But he knows that he isn't prepared to rule the kingdom alone. Now we're looking for someone to save the king, praying that someone can find a cure. We're all out of nothing, the king is about to come back. We're absolutely sure. Somebody save the king.
When the king is gone, will I lose my position? Some other country declare a war. When the king is passed on, he won't need his physician. Our tailor won't rule anymore. Little girl at the door, the prince is gone, will he need a musician? He's a famine or feast in store. What's to become of our greed and ambition? What was our dreaming and scheming for? Is anybody here going to answer the door? All is not well
being so callous. But if anything happens to him, the kingdom has nothing to gain. So we're all for extending his reign. And we're looking for someone to save the king, who will step forward without delay. From there we trust in the king might suggest will we ever adjust, so we know that we know. So we're looking for someone to save the king. Somebody save the king.
The handmaiden, disguised as the princess, arrived at the king's castle.
Wait over here, you old mule! I demand to see the king at once. Where is he?
The handmaiden went to the dying king's chamber, and there she saved his life with the magic potion.
You trick!
My beloved people, I present to you the daughter of the legendary magical queen. She has journeyed here from the far side of the great forest in order to save my life. Oh! This she has done, and we and the entire kingdom rejoice!
You love me.
In turn, I offer to her, with infinite gratitude, anything in the kingdom that she desires.
My lord, it is reward enough to see you well and able again to rule your loyal subjects. I ask no more than this.
The king was moved by the handmaiden's flattery.
You are a most gentle and gracious girl, and to you I offer that which I treasure most. I ask you to make my palace your home, and to accept my son's hand in marriage.
Oh, sire, I am overwhelmed by your generosity, and I accept your offer gladly.
Oh, this is indeed a happy day. Come then, servants, prepare for
Yes,
a celebration.
servants!
A feast.
Servants! Servants! Where's the food? Where's the food? My lord, I beg your pardon, but may I ask for one little thing?
Oh, of course. Speak freely.
It concerns my white horse, Falada. He still stands stabled in the courtyard right now
Noble girl, put your horse's welfare before your own. Don't worry, child. They'll be well looked after. I'll see that he's unsaddled, groomed, and stable.
and slaughtered! and watered, yes! You see, it was such a long journey, and he has served me so well. When he be turned out to pasture, I'll have no need of a horse now that this palace is my home.
If you feel sure that's what you would like.
Quite sure, but he must be put in the most distant pasture, where no one will be able to find him or try to ride him, for he only allows the princess on his back.
The princess?
Oh, yes, me! Me, yes, I'm the princess, yes, and he only allows me on his back, and I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt while trying to ride my faithful Falada.
So by the king's orders, the faithful Falada was put into a distant and secluded pasture and forgotten. But the real princess was made of sterner stuff than the villainous handmaiden had imagined. Even though she was left without hope and in despair over the handmaiden's treachery, the princess did not die in the forest as the handmaiden assumed she would. After many days of walking, weak with hunger, and nearing total exhaustion, the princess finally stumbled out of the damp gloom and stepped into fresh air and sunlight. She was out of the forest and had reached the outskirts of a tiny village not far from the king's castle. So with her last remaining strength, she dragged herself to the nearest cottage and collapsed on the doorstep. And that's where Conrad found her when he returned home that night.
Oh, gee,
He looked down at the poor girl in torn rags and shawl, and he could see that she was barely alive. So he carefully lifted her and helped her into his tiny cottage. There, he gently laid her on the bed and watched her quietly, waiting for her to awaken. Conrad was a crippled shepherd boy who lived at the edge of his village by himself. So for days, no one noticed as he watched over the princess tirelessly, and the princess slowly began to regain her health under his care.
Here, drink this.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're feeling stronger now. You were so ill when I found you, I was worried.
I'm feeling much better now. Thanks to you. I don't know what I would have done without your help.
Where are you from? I know I've never seen you around here before. I would remember you.
I come from the other side of the forest.
But that's so far. Why would you want to journey so far from home and alone?
I didn't know I'd be traveling alone. Besides, don't you want to travel someday? See the world?
I can't get around very well because of my leg.
Oh, and when your leg is better?
Like my father before me, I was born in this house. I was born in this very room. And I drive the sheep to those hills where I watch them graze. That's how I spend my days, like my father before me. Over here on my stairs I catch rabbits and grouse. In the corner I stand my broom, and I drive the sheep to those hills in the morning light. Then I bring them home at night, like my father before me, and his father before him, and his father before him.
I was born in a kingdom of magic and light, in a palace behind a wall. Silver and servants, a garden of emerald green. And someday I will be queen, like my mother before me and her mother before her.
And my father before me, and his father before him.
And oh, there are places I haven't been.
Though there are places
I haven't seen beyond those hills or wonders. I know
this is where I'll grow old.
there's a road over there and it leads
Away from the fire is cold.
And I feel that it's calling me
Like my father
every day.
before me.
Every morning and night I can hear the horizon
is
is
calling
calling.
someone else, not
It's telling me I can be more than a princess.
the wife beside
I
me.
want more than
I'll
to
live
live
the life of my father before me, and his father before him, and his father before him, and his father before him.
The princess couldn't remain unnoticed forever, and finally her story drifted down to the village and began to spread. The villagers, though friendly enough, Didn't know what to make of the young girl. No one was sure how much, if any of her story was true. And everyone had trouble believing that she was really a princess. But the town, like any other small town, began to talk.
Well, I know the whole story. You know, she says she's a princess from a far-off kingdom.
Who?
That girl has been staying with Conrad for a couple of weeks.
What far-off kingdom?
On the other side of the forest.
Nobody lives on the other side of the forest.
Oh, how would you know? You've never been past the town wall.
Isn't that where the magic queen lives on the other side of the forest?
It's just a fairy tale.
Oh, maybe not.
I heard that she'd been wandering alone in the forest for days. I said,
Impossible. The forest, it's too big.
and
Very, very dangerous.
She'd never have survived.
But she's here though, isn't she?
Aye, that's for certain.
And she wasn't here before.
Does make a boy wonder.
Oh, that it does.
Well, I don't care who she is. She shouldn't be living with a shepherd. Highly improper.
But she doesn't know anybody else around here.
And the poor dear was nearly half dead when Conrad found
There you
her.
go.
Look, all I'm saying is that it throws a shadow of doubt over her story. Well, doesn't it?
That it does.
A princess, indeed.
We like to say we like her, though she acts a little strange. But there are things a princess is that none of us can change. A style that every princess has, this girl just hasn't got. So as far as being princess, we're sorry, but she's not.
A princess needs a crown and gown in order to stand tall. But this girl came to town in just an ordinary shawl. We heard that in the woods she had to get her clothes away. A princess dressed like that would still be hiding in the trees today.
Had she not complied, she would have died, that's what she said.
But if she were a princess, she would rather have been dead instead.
She never asked for anything a princess would demand. She always speaks politely while a princess would command.
She always has a smile and never seems to make a fuss. But if she were a princess, she'd be turning up her nose at us. How long was she lost, bouncing across the moon? Any princess would have left the lowly shepherd far behind. We find the girl quite charming. We admit that much is true. But still those things a princess does, this girl just does not do. She seems to be an honest child, on that we all agree. But as far as being princess, she simply cannot be.
When the villagers weren't talking about the new girl in town, they were busy talking about the upcoming royal wedding between the prince and the princess who had saved the king's life. The princess was well enough to make the walk now, but still, Conrad was afraid for her safety.
I don't think you should go. It's too dangerous.
Oh, it's something I have to do, Conrad.
But you shouldn't go alone. It's a long walk and you've been so ill.
I'm quite well now. The castle's not that far. I'll be fine.
At least let me go with you.
Oh, Conrad. Oh. Ow. The castle is at the top of a hill. I can't let you make the
strong enough.
My leg is fine.
No, it's not. And it bothers you more every day. I'm not blind, Conrad. You need to rest it.
What if something goes wrong at the castle? Or you need help?
It's a simple thing. I'll go to the king. I'll tell him the truth. And all will be well. Oh, you'll see. Say goodbye. And stop worrying. Bye.
But what the princess didn't know was that the villagers' gossip had reached the king's castle. And as she was walking towards the palace, the horrified handmaiden, realizing from the rumors that the princess was still alive, was busy convincing everyone that this sick girl was dangerously insane.
This is treason! Impersonating royalty, questioning the king's judgments, his decisions. You all laugh at her now, and indeed this mad girl could be considered a joke, or something to be pitied, if she weren't such a danger to the government of this kingdom!
Upon her arrival, the princess was taken to see the king, and she began to tell her story. But as she spoke, she could see that no one believed the words she was saying. She was becoming frightened, and wanting to know why no one believed her, she asked to see the handmaiden for herself. The king, well, he saw no harm in this, so he sent for the handmaiden to come at once. But the moment the handmaiden entered the room, the princess understood why no one believed her. For she wore around her neck the lock of hair charmed by the magic queen. The princess realized that no harm could come to anyone that wore this charm. So with a cry of despair, she turned and fled from the kingdom.
Wait! The treason! Someone stop that girl! Don't let her get away!
But the king cried out and ordered his courtiers back into the palace.
What? Are you out of your mind? She's a traitor! Don't let her get away! I want her!
But the princess kept running, and she was soon out of sight.
Where are we going? She's a traitor! She's an imposter! I want her head!
The princess managed to escape. She was terrified, and she was sure that the king's men were still right behind her. Not knowing where else to go, she ran back to the village, and back to Conrad's house.
Oh, Conrad! Where are you? Oh, Conrad.
You're back. What's wrong?
You were
What
right.
happened at the king's castle?
Oh, you were right. No one believed me. She's wearing the lock of hair. There was nothing I could do.
What lock of hair?
Conrad. They think I'm a traitor.
Sit down for a moment and catch your breath. Then you can tell me what happened.
No. I'm sorry. I should never have come back here.
You were right to come to me.
The king's men are right behind me. I should have run into the hills to hide.
But it's almost dark.
Or maybe I can make it through the forest and home
You
again.
never make it through the forest. You almost died the last time.
Don't you know you're in danger? You'll be tortured or killed if they find me here. Not a person believed me, not a one.
That's not true. I believed you.
Oh no, let me go, you're in danger. Any moment the king and his men could reappear. I don't know anymore what I should do. Where I should run.
You could stay here with me. There's nothing to fear with me by your side. Here, there's love and laughter too. I can look after you while you hide. I don't care what the world says. I don't care what a king says is right or real. All I know is the way I feel when I see you cry. Running away is wrong. Here is where you belong. Isn't that clear?
The king's men did not come after her, and after a few days she began to feel safe again. The morning of the royal wedding had arrived, and the whole kingdom was buzzing with excitement.
It's so exciting!
I don't see what all the fuss is about. It's just a wedding.
Well, almost the whole kingdom.
It's not just a wedding, it's a royal wedding. Elf, prince and princess, duke and duchess, lord and lady from miles around will be coming to our castle. Oh no! I'm gonna blow!
Oh, thank heaven!
Our castle, indeed. I noticed we were very pointedly not invited.
Oh, did I not tell you?
I was asked to be the maid of honor, but I declined the invite. Not a thing to wear, I suppose.
Well, I do suppose we should go down to the castle gate on the day. Just to have a weekend at the festivities now, huh?
Seems only fair. After all, it's our taxes paid for all that royal revelry.
Oh, speaking of resident royalty, look who's coming.
Why, it's Conrad's little lodger.
Good morning to you, my dear.
Good morning.
And where are you off to this morning?
Oh, I'm going into the hills to watch after Conrad's flock for him.
Ah, but where's Conrad then?
He's in the cottage. He's not very well today.
Oh, it is like again, huh?
Oh, poor dear. He's feeling more ill than not these days.
And it's getting worse.
Oh, I'm very worried about him. Has he seen a doctor?
A what? A doctor? There's no doctor in this village.
Oh, well, perhaps in the next town.
Oh, the only doctor in the entire kingdom is the king's own physician.
And he never steps foot outside the palace.
No, and the simple shepherd would never number among his patients.
Oh, but there must be something we can do.
Oh, you're doing all you can, love. Each day you like him gets load a little now.
Aye, he's doing much better having you for company. That's for sure.
But there's a doctor in the palace.
And he cures princes, not peasants.
That's just the way things are, dear. Now, you best run along, the morning's near gone. You gotta tend to your flock. Oh, look at that.
Are they so cute? Oh, little ears down right now. We're gonna go now!
The princess was confused as she headed into the hills with the sheep.
The only doctor in the kingdom is the king's own physician. But he never sets foot outside the palace.
She wandered far away from the village and far away from the castle.
He cures princes, not peasants.
Into distant and secluded fields
Oh, it's not fair.
until she was miles away from everything and everyone.
So very long ago, so tired of being me, I wanted to be all the things a princess couldn't be. And I remember wanting to spend the whole day through doing all the things a princess shouldn't do. Like walking barefoot in the rain, or building castles in the sand, or finding time to be alone without every minute planned. Feeling fine and feeling free, finding room to just be me. Last, I had my taste of freedom, walked barefoot in the rain, spent days alone on hilltops, and all I've seemed to gain is time for being lonely. I wish to be a princess again. I wish I were a princess again.
day passed slowly, as the sheep wandered further and further into the hills, until they reached a large enclosed pasture, which seemed to be quite empty at first. But then the princess realized that it probably belonged to the king. So as she was about to turn her sheep around, she suddenly noticed, grazing quietly in the furthest corner of the pasture, a single white horse.
Falada?
The princess walked towards the white horse. The closer she got, the faster she walked, until she was running through the pasture. At the sound of his name, the horse lifted his head and saw his beloved mistress. He pressed ecstatically around the princess, but two hours took a handful of his mane, and they were both off at a gallop. At the same moment, back at the king's castle, the handmaiden was busy admiring herself in the mirror while trying to make some final decisions on the wedding.
No. My gown must be white. It's the only color that's fitting for a princess who is so innocent and pure. Besides, it goes with my beautiful hair and pearly complexion. Oh! And with this silly lock of hair that I have to wear around my head all the time.
The more she tried to make a decision, the more annoyed she became.
It will be floor-length with a long train held by two charming children. What am I saying? I hate children! Yeah! No! It will be held by my waiting maids, and it will have enormous sleeves of lace and a delicately low-cut collar. Then they will all see that stupid lock of hair around my neck. No! It will have a high collar. And then they will all stare at that huge balls made by that silly locket from the imbecile queen.
By this time, the handmaiden had worked herself into a frenzy.
I can choose between all the gold and jewels in the entire kingdom, and I have to be married to a handsome prince wearing an ugly clump of yucky old hair.
And in a fit of rage, the handmaiden took the protective locket, threw it out the window, and into the castle moat. It didn't take the princess long to ride home on Falada. Conrad was inside the cottage, resting his leg, when he suddenly heard the unfamiliar sound of a horse snickering in his front yard.
You're home. This horse.
Oh, come inside.
But the horse. Tell me, where did you...
Oh, your leg is worse, isn't it?
Please.
Do you remember? I told you of Falada. The white horse with a rolling knee on his back?
Yes, but I...
Well, I thought the handmaiden would have had him killed. But I found him in a distant field.
You're leaving.
Yes. Soon.
You're going home to your kingdom?
Oh, no. I don't know. I wanted to see the world once. Perhaps now I will.
You weren't even going to say goodbye.
Oh, Conrad. I would never leave without saying goodbye. I owe you my life. Oh, but it's not time for farewells yet. There's something I must do before I go.
The princess mounted Falada, and the horse trotted off in the direction of the palace.
Wait, where are you going? What are you going to do?
Oh, don't worry. I'll be back soon to say goodbye.
No, don't go back to the castle, please.
But the girl and the white horse were gone. The time appointed for the royal wedding had arrived, but all was not proceeding as planned. For at the moment the ceremonies were to begin, the prince was missing.
He's what? Where is that stupid prince? Where is that prince?
All is not well at the court, all is not well at the palace. Tempers are growing so short in the groom, he cannot be found. He decided to go for a walk, I didn't see where he was heading. Where
The king had joined the handmaiden, who was anxiously pacing back and forth outside the chapel. They both stood, waited and watched for the prince to arrive, when suddenly a hush fell upon the throng of people who filled the yard. Suddenly, there appeared before them a girl on a white horse.
Your son, where is he? Your son! Ah! What do you say we wait inside the chapel?
I recognize this girl as the one who came to the castle,
No!
claiming to be the true princess.
No!
Gee, maybe you're right. Guards, arrest her!
No! Wait. Isn't that your own white horse?
No! Don't be silly. All white horses look the same. Besides, if you've seen one white magnificent stallion, you've seen them all.
Your Majesty, I have not come this time to convince you that I am the true princess.
You haven't?
No. I have come to ask you for that potion which was given you by the magic queen.
Potion?
Oh, you almost died once, and that charm saved your life. Well, you are well now and have need of it no longer. In the village below, there's a poor shepherd who is very ill and who grows worse each day. Oh, please! I beg you to give me that potion which will make him well again, so that he may continue to watch over his flock in the hills.
Now, isn't that the most preposterous request that you've ever heard?
Tell me something first, my girl. This horse, did you find him in a distant and secluded pasture that belongs to us, the king?
Yes, sire.
Did you know that this horse belongs to the princess, and that it is foolish and dangerous to ride another person's horse without permission?
Yes, sire, I know all these things.
Well, tell me then, how is it that you can ride this horse, a horse that only allows the princess on his back?
Because, sire, I am the princess. Oh, and this is my horse.
No! This is treason! This is absolute rubbish! He's just a horse! He's not your horse! I mean, he's not my horse! Besides, anyone could have put that royal brand on his rump! It's a trick! It means nothing! Anyone could ride the silly mule. Watch, there's nothing to it!
The truth was now plain for all to see. The king took the princess's hand and exclaimed in a loud and sure voice,
You are indeed the true princess. We and the entire kingdom rejoice, and offer to you anything in the kingdom that you desire.
Oh, Your Highness, the potion.
Of course. That for which you came, the potion, given us by the magic queen, is yours.
Thank you, sire.
Guards, arrest this impostor and throw her in the dungeon!
The king was surprised by the princess's request.
Let her take a message safely back to my kingdom. Let her tell my mother, the queen, that I am happy and well, and that I will not be returning for some time.
The king questioned the princess's decision and asked her,
Why would you wish to pardon such a villain?
She was once my dearest friend, and called her sister as we grew. Then one day the road did bend, and something came between us two. No, I have forgiven you.
The handmaiden, amazed that she was allowed to escape with her life, turned and fled from the kingdom. The king turned to the princess and offered to her that which he treasured most. He asked her to make his palace her home and to take his son's hand in marriage.
Oh, thank you, sire. Your offer is most generous, and I thank you. But I'm leaving today on a long journey, and I don't know when I'll be back again.
You could stay here with me. There's nothing to fear. With me by your side.
My sheep.
Oh, dear Conrad, here is the potion that will make you well again. Now it's time to say goodbye.
Don't go.
Oh, it's something I have to do, Conrad. But don't look so sad. Who says I won't be back?
Every story has to end.
But if you ever need a
friend,
This is my chance to see the world. And there's a world full of things to see.
Come to my world, where there's honor defended. Love is true and tears will always dry.
Welcome to my world, where the story has ended. Time to wave the magic land goodbye. Together. Welcome to my world, where there's music and laughter. Come with me and let me see you smile. Welcome to my world, where there's love ever after. Come with me, we'll set you free a while. Together.
Children's program, they get a nice reasonable price so they can afford to bring the family. And without the support of sponsors like Sunlight, it would be impossible. But more than that, Sunlight has been here throughout our run to help out with all kinds of things that are very participatory. And a prize is back. This is Mr. Albert Pratt, George Ross Day, and we need to have someone stick their hand in. I'm going to stir this up. Someone stick their hand in. Okay, we're going to do 2 draws. All right. Our first winner, regardless of whether they're here or not, because somebody will forward their gift to wherever they are. It does look like Lil Murray. 892-6764. Is there anyone here by that name? All right, they'll have the telephone.